We're going to start this video off with a little experiment, so I need you to follow the directions carefully. Here we go.
I'm Ron, by the way. Ron Weasley.
I'm Harry Potter.
Has anyone seen a toad? A boy named Neville's lost one.
No.
Oh, are you doing magic? Let's see then.
That kind of works. Look, let's get one thing clear. If I had to Thanos snap every single franchise out of existence but keep just one, it would be the Harry Potter saga that's staying. And I don't know if the Fantastic Beasts movies get lumped in with that, but if I get to keep Hogwarts Legacy, then fine, they can stay too, although I don't really want them to stay. I'd like them to get blipped out of existence so I never have to see them again. So when Warner Brothers and David Zaslav and all the people there decided we're going to reboot the saga, we are going to recast the original Golden Trio, we're going to recast Dumbledore and Snape, and we're going to do this whole thing over again for an HBO Max TV show, I wanted to throw up. But ever since that announcement, 2-ish years ago, every time I think about it, I've become more and more convinced that this is the right way to go for the Harry Potter franchise, and I'm going to explain that in depth in this video. But in order for me to explain that in depth, I'm going to have to explain to you my 4 initial points as to why I thought this was a terrible idea, and why I'm since stepped back off that ledge. My 4 initial points were, it's definitely way too soon to reboot one of the most iconic classic stories of cinema history. Any younger parent that has children that wants to introduce them to the Harry Potter franchise would just show them the movies instead of this new TV show, so it felt completely pointless to me. We all want the original trilogy to come back for The Cursed Child, or at least some version of that movie. We want to bring them back. We do not want new actors playing these iconic characters. And Harry Potter belongs in the theater. Thinking of this franchise in terms of it being a business, 1, and being for a new generation, 2. And then thirdly, seeing the cast, I've completely changed my mind about the Harry Potter TV show. Okay, so my initial complaint about it being way too soon, and this is a sentiment that I've seen from a lot of different fans out there of the franchise, and I completely get it. It does kind of feel like that because the Harry Potter franchise has been ingrained in our lives since the moment that we were born, a lot of people that are my age, and we watch these movies like every single year. They're always on television, so it does feel a little too soon. But what if I told you that the time we get the premiere episode of this new Harry Potter HBO show in 2026, it will have been 15 years since the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which means it would have been well over 30 years, pushing 40 years, since the original movie. I know, time is a flat circle, and that sucks, and everyone feels old. But that's just the reality of the situation. And also, in terms of it being a business, it's not like they didn't try to move heaven and earth to put The Cursed Child into production before this series was made, before it was put into production. There were rumors flying that David Zaslav, when he acquired Warner Brothers, or not acquired Warner Brothers, but when he became the CEO, was pushing for them to make an 8th movie, and the word on the street is some of the actors of our Golden Trio, specifically Emma Watson, did not want to be involved in it if J.K. Rowling was involved in it. And for the people out there that are saying, well, don't remake it, just expand the universe. They tried that with Fantastic Beasts. Now, that didn't work out, obviously. It was a big-time stink fest. The first one was fine. The best part about that was Colin Farrell, and he wasn't even, spoiler alert, real. It turned out to be Johnny Depp, and then we all know what happened with Johnny Depp, although now he's back. It was a nightmare, and J.K. Rowling is not a screenwriter. She's a great novelist, screenwriter. She is not. And those movies sunk like the Titanic. You know, say for giving J.K. Rowling the Godfather offer like Disney gave George Lucas or Jeff Bezos just gave the Broccoli family for the Bond franchise. This is their best avenue forward in terms of using the IP to push their brand forward. Now, of course, I do think the grandfather offer is coming for J.K. Rowling soon enough, and they're going to offer her so much money that she's just going to take it and then go to Tahiti, and we'll never hear from her again, thank God. But her association with the brand has not hurt the brand. The theme park is at an all-time high. They just expanded it now with Epic Universe to use the Ministry of Magic. And Hogwarts Legacy was one of the most successful video games of the last decade, and J.K. Rowling was heavily involved in both of those aspects. So for right now, Warner Brothers is not incentivized to get her out of the family. And until they reach a point where they know they have to get back into the theater with Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, they're just not going to give her that Godfather offer, although one day I do think it will come. The second point that I had as to why I didn't like this initially, but I've since changed my mind the more I think about it, is that I said any parent, if I became a new parent, I would show the movies to my children before I show them this TV show. Unless the TV show absolutely blows the doors off this thing and becomes the definitive version of Harry Potter, which in my biased opinion, don't think that's ever possible. I'm just going to show my kid the 8 original films. Herein lies the problem, though, and I talked about this with my roommate, and he made a very good point. If these kids are going to school and their friends are all talking about the new Harry Potter TV show, they're going to come home and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I want to watch the new Harry Potter TV show. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that the zeitgeist determines what is shown to our children. Bluey's popular, not Blue's Clues. Remember Blue's Clues? It's Bluey. So kids now watch Bluey. If the new Harry Potter show takes over the world like Game of Thrones, but it's one of the first family-friendly HBO Max TV shows to ever be put into production, that's what everybody's going to be watching. It doesn't matter how I feel about it being too soon or how I feel about me showing my specific kids the original 8 films. Look, we all grew up eventually. This isn't, The Lost Boys and Peter Pan. And what I've accepted is that this TV show, while it is maybe for the hardcore fans, it's also for a new generation. And that's what a lot of people, Star Wars fans in particular, and I hope Harry Potter fans don't fall into this too, fail to understand, is that a lot of the new content is not trying to get the fandom on board that already watches all this stuff. It's trying to get new, fresh blood into the IP. And as sad as it is to say, Harry Potter, the brand, might have surpassed my growth. And now whatever this TV show is going to be is for my children and for my children's children. It is not for us anymore, and that's okay. My third point, which may be a little bit of a controversy, is that we all want The Cursed Child to be adapted into a feature film, right? Okay, now I get it. The Cursed Child was not the most beloved story in the Harry Potter saga, although when I read it when I was like 14, I thought it was pretty good, and then I went online and I was like, oh shit, everybody hates this. I don't know, I'm a sucker for time travel, not to spoil The Cursed Child, but it is what it is. If you know, you know. Because this TV show exists, it does not mean that we cannot also get the 8th movie. Now, here's what I'm saying, or the 9th movie. Initially, I was so upset that they were remaking this, but the idea that it's going on HBO Max means they're not putting it in the theater. They are holding out hope and holding out time and the right opportunity to bring back the original trilogy cast members to still be able to do that 9th movie. Because if you recast them and then you make a bunch of new movies, then you can never do another movie with the original Golden Trio. But the idea that this is a television show means you could have your... Ow! Oh, and I just killed Ron. Stand up, Ron. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can have this TV show which reboots it, but then when the time is right and when the Golden Trio decide, okay, we're going to come back, we need the money, they can still do the 8th movie. They are separate entities. So if you have an avenue at HBO Max, David Zaslav, to reboot the franchise and put it on HBO Max, which is having your cake and then being able to eat it too by also doing another movie with the original cast for the most part, how do you pass up that opportunity? And that also coincides with my 4th point that Harry Potter should be in the theater. Look, I'm a theater guy, okay? If you're going to make a TV show like Andor, all right, do a TV show. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, the story of Obi-Wan and Anakin, that should be in the theater 1,000,000%. And the fact that it's not hurts my soul. But if you're going to dive deeper into what the books missed out on, I'm okay with doing a Harry Potter TV show if it's on the same quality as a Succession, as all these HBO Max TV shows. And HBO Max knows how to make a TV show. Disney Plus, it is not. And then last but not least, this cast looks good. Like, I can't deny it. Nick Frost playing Hagrid, genius. John Lithgow as Dumbledore, love it. The guy who's playing Snape, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try it. I'm interested. I like the take. I want to see where it goes. And then, of course, the Golden Trio. Ron, Harry, Hermione. These 3 kids, first of all, they look adorable. And I don't know if you saw, but, what's her name? Arabella something. Alastair something. I don't know. Her audition tape for Hermione has surfaced. And it's good. It is good. And as much as I don't want to be riding the hype train of what could be replacing my childhood joy, I can't help but be honest with you. And the more I read and see about the casting and the writing team involved and the idea that HBO Max is throwing a lot of money into this and seeing the cast, I think I'm all in. The only thing that really intrigues me now from a production standpoint is what are they going to do about the John Williams music? Are they going to use it sparingly? Are they going to James Gunn Superman this thing and just be like, nope, that's our theme? Are they going to do something completely different? Only time will tell. But from all the points that I've laid out here, I do think I'm all in on this TV show. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new Harry Potter TV show. Did I convince you? That wasn't my goal here. My goal was just to be honest with the viewer and let you know my thoughts on it. Hit that like button, comment away. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you. I'll see you next time.